I've ever heard.
Wow.
They were using it as toilet paper.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard. The itching would be indescribable.
It apparently
Indiscriminate.
didn't enter anyone's mind that maybe scratching your butt with something like that would be a bad idea.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to AK Reacts. I'm AK, your favorite Middle Eastern PNG tuber, ready to dive into some awesome videos. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back everyone to another AK Reacts video. This time we have Military Stories Compilation from mikeburnfire, my personal favorite dual creators on YouTube. These stories are from the Fallout New Vegas playthrough that they did, I believe. They are scattered among many episodes, which I believe, yeah, they have them all written down from which episodes they are, but this one is a compilation of all those, and let's see what we get. So please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all to that to the original creators of this video. And if you feel like it, maybe do the same for me. Without further ado, let's get started.
We can sing some cadence along the way.
No, shut up! I hate cadence. Yeah, I really hate cadence.
Left, right, low, right.
I'm right
my
there
God.
with you.
Left, right,
Okay,
low,
I will
right.
admit. Shut up! I will admit that the Marines have a better cadence system in that they only do cadence when they're like running for like PT.
You think so?
They don't do like other dumb cadences while you're just marching to places.
That depends on where you go.
The Army does
Same for me.
all the time. All of the time.
Yeah,
Anytime
yeah.
you march somewhere, you're doing cadence, which is stupid because you end up with some of the dumbest cadences ever that people come up with off the top of their head. Like Pebbles and Bam Bam on a Friday night tried to get to heaven on a paper kite. And it's like, what does this have to do with anything? And then you get
Yeah,
other
that
people
is true.
that are super,
That's a fair
super
point.
motivated to do dumbass cadences about airborne rangers. And I'm like, we're in a support unit. Not a single one of us is an airborne ranger. None of us will be airborne rangers. Stop with the cadence. It's stupid. C-130
Yeah,
rolling
sometimes
down the strip,
can be.
airborne rangers on a one-way trip. None of us are airborne rangers. None of us are ever going to do dangerous missions like that. I swear to God, next person to do a cadence like that, I'm going to put you on a C-130, and then I'm going to...
Holy.
Jesus.
Okay, the fact that Mike had to censor Zach, because I don't think I've ever heard him just bleep out something. He was really angry at that, huh?
So what's the most bored you've ever been? I know it's asking you to search your entire military career and try and...
Okay, wait. Before we would just venture forth too much into boredom topic, I want to just go on a rant of my own about cadences. We used to have them every single day before formations, before the morning formations, and we had morning formations every day except Saturdays. A normal day would be we would wake up at 4 to 4:10 every day, make up the beds pristine and clean and everything, and everyone would just go to their designated location, which they are supposed to like clean and stuff. We had like half an hour of maybe cleaning duties to maybe 40 minutes to sometimes 1 hour. After that, we had to line up in front of the barracks and then start marching to the chow hall. You know, I understand that it's the military and it's supposed to be like discipline and all of that, but waking up at 4 in the morning makes you the biggest anarchist in this fucking world. Like, why am I doing this? It seems so stupid. You know, they're just making a new standard for you, making you learn that you could do these things. You can wake up, you can just go against all the difficulties that your day did not have and does have right now. But some of these are just self-inflicted, I believe. It doesn't make any sense. Before we reach the chow hall, after we finish the food, and after that we have like the morning prayers, which was forced. If you thought that the Islamic Republic wouldn't force someone to, that was a conscript to just go for prayers each day, which was their way of like indoctrinating you. Lots of our speakers were clergymen because religion and military go hand in hand in this part of the world. Again, I'm just talking about the conscription in Iran. After the chow hall, till you were to the prayers, the mosque that was designated, we would march and say our cadences along the way. After the prayers, you would also start marching and singing cadences until you reach the massive field, which was for morning formations. After that, you had your PTs in that same field. Some speakers, most likely the commanders, was going to come up. Each day of the week, they had different programs that every conscript had to go through. These were all, of course, during basic training. After that, almost no one cared. It was surprising to me how much of it was just dedicated to training you to learn these and how much they never even asked you after that, which makes it even more frustrating to see that. Then why the hell was I waking up at 4 in the morning for that shit, you know? Now along the topic of being bored, ooh, there's a lot in one's life that they can find being bored, but being in the military where you don't have access to normal amenities, you would definitely find yourself being bored at some point or another, right? As a patrol, I was pretty lucky that I got to see the outside whenever I just was on duty, but becoming a patrol unit conscript was not easy. They would usually just give you something like guard duties just to make sure you can handle it, and being on a guard duty was the most boring one. That's the point I wanted to make. Just staring at a wall in an enclosed room definitely plays tricks on your mind. You are going to get bored so fast, and you know that there's going to be so much more to come. So I can't find many stories because we usually were working outside and that wasn't boring. Being inside was. Being inside the precincts, the camps, those were the boring parts because that would insinuate that you were either doing cleaning duties, you were sleeping, you were eating, you were doing normal stuff. And if you weren't doing normal stuff and someone saw you doing nothing, then that's the point that they will get you to do some stuff, anything and everything, right? So either look busy or just go to sleep so no one can bother you. Let's keep going.
Find especially boring. Yeah.
Why don't you go first? You go. Tell me. You tell
Okay,
me.
let's hear
Mike's.
Mike's.
Man, I don't know. There's there was a time where we had nothing to do for 3 days, so we just stacked plastic bottles and threw rocks at them for the entirety of those 3 days, and that was it. That was all we did for 3 days.
That is pretty boring.
Understandable.
Yeah, there was one night where we were sitting out there and we took something similar to what you did, where we just took a can. Like an empty SpaghettiOs can and put it on the curb and we were just pitching rocks at it to try and knock it over.
It's pretty much all you can do when you got nothing to do. You just target practice.
Yeah, just do that. And then we got yelled at for doing that.
Yeah.
That's because you're in the military and you get yelled at for everything.
Yeah.
True.
And then people wondered why I smoked seriously a pack and a half of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
I used to have a grenade launcher.
I'm sorry, what?
You didn't have any grenades for it though, did you?
Didn't Zach say that he also had a belt-fit machine gun at some point? How many weird guns were you just stuck with?
Did you?
No, I mean, while I was in the military, I was issued a grenade launcher.
You ever fire a grenade launcher?
Yes, a lot.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Why?
A lot.
How many grenades have you thrown?
Hand grenades?
Yeah.
Only 2, but 40mm grenades, a lot of them.
Why would you, working in the armory, in
Exactly.
an enclosed space, be issued a grenade launcher?
And be using it that much?
We got 6 new grenade launchers into our company, and they called me, and they said, hey, come down to the arms room and install these grenade launchers. I said, what M16s am I putting these grenade launchers on? And they said, pick 6 of them. And I went, seriously, any 6? And they said,
any
yeah,
6.
Any 6. And I went, okay, well, where's my weapon? Give me that. That is mine. I'm putting this grenade launcher on it. I have a grenade launcher now.
So you gave yourself one.
You've actually fired a grenade.
Wow.
I fired a lot of grenades.
Didn't know that was possible.
Mission.
While you were deployed?
No. Convoy live fire range. It was like a firing range where we rode in the back of trucks and shot at stuff.
Oh, yeah. Live fire on the
Still
move.
not doing well because you blew her up with the grenade.
And basically, we were only supposed to go on 1, and they did 6 of them. I was only supposed to go on 1. I volunteered to go on all 6 because there were too many practice grenades.
Oh, there was a surplus.
So
Yeah.
I ended up firing a lot of 40mm grenades. I used the grenade launcher so much I didn't really even need to use a sight on it anymore. I would just be like, okay, well, I need to be at roughly this elevation to hit a target at 300 meters.
And then
Damn
you hit the
eyeballing
stick
it,
with the
huh?
target.
Yeah. I know a lot about grenade launchers.
Learn something new every day.
That's fun. That's actually, from now on, it's gonna be on my bucket list. I'm gonna just one day go to a range, and it's hopefully America or somewhere, just shoot every explosive that I didn't get to, because 40 millimeter grenade launchers, like the exact one that Zach is like handling, I've seen these where there's a one shot, it breaks off like a shotgun, like a double barrel, it breaks in the middle. You take out the casing and put another one in. I'm not sure how you actually name them. The naming conventions for ammunition is just weird in English and even weirder in Iran, because some of them would be translated, some of them would be word to word. So I'm just saying this so you can get a visual representation. I've seen like different groups like NoPost. They had the rotary grenade launchers. I don't know how many of those, how many ammo could hold in its magazines, because it has like different tubes that, like a revolver, would just spin around when they were being shot. So I've seen them, but never actually got to shot any of these. I've seen RPG-7s in a precinct. I've seen the ammunition, but I've never actually shot them. Again, I was a cop. I was a patrol conscript. I also worked in an armory. So I got to see a lot of these things, but you were not required to know how to operate these because, well, who goes finding a convict with a grenade launcher? Let's keep going.
I can't believe I've never told you this story about grenade launchers.
You've got a lot of stories I haven't heard before.
Yeah, I had an underbarrel M203 grenade launcher for like almost a year while I was in the military, and then they took it away from me because they said,
I'm not doing so well here.
Then they took it away from me because they said, well, you're mostly going to be in a shop fixing weapons all the time. And I said, fine, I guess I don't get a grenade launcher anymore. So yeah, they took my grenade launcher away from me, and then they gave me a belt-fed machine gun.
Yeah, you said that.
Anymore, because I was like, you just said I'm going to be
exactly.
Like, so why would I need a grenade launcher? And then you gave me a fully
Why would you need a belt-fed machine gun?
Fucking stupid.
The answer to that question is yes, it's the military. They are.
And as it turns out, they didn't really care that I had just put a grenade launcher on my rifle with like no authorization, and I had never been to a firing range with a grenade launcher before. They didn't care because the majority of people who had put grenade launchers on their weapons were super pissed about it because it meant they had to carry more weight.
I
didn't care.
Yeah, more ammunition. The
launcher.
weapon would be a bit heavier.
Well, that is quite the story I had never heard before.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to bring up the conversation of poop again, but...
No, but you're going to, yes.
Yeah, you kind of reminded me of a story that happened to me when I was on a mission with some
This is
other
about to be
Marines,
really bad.
and we also had
Good
a
bad.
porta-john, and it was in the middle of nowhere, so it didn't get emptied.
So very, very rapidly filled with fecal material and urine.
Yes, to put it in a very gross way, that is true.
And also probably MRE wrappers and crayons and glue, because that's all Marines eat.
Yeah, and there wasn't enough toilet paper, so what they used was fiberglass cloth.
What?
What?
Yeah, they had cloths that we normally use for cleaning up grease. We
Fiberglass.
Oh, like not fiberglass, like a fiber cloth.
No, it was a fiberglass cloth. It was a cloth that had fiberglass in it.
Oh my god, that is the worst idea I think I've...
Fiberglass, it's in the name. Or am I just thinking this thing wrong? Okay, it looks like a cloth, but fiberglass.
I've ever heard.
Wow.
They were using it as toilet paper.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard. The itching would be indescribable.
It apparently
Indiscriminate.
in anyone's mind that maybe scratching your butt with something like that would be a bad idea.
Yeah?
So yeah, that was a fun weekend.
Wait, for who?
You didn't use it.
I will not tell you anything more about
Oh.
that.
Oh my god.
Terrible
Oh.
Wipe your ass with fiberglass. That's like wiping your ass with poison ivy and going, no, this will be fine.
Yeah?
Man, I joined the military over a decade ago, and you joined even earlier than that. So
I joined 2004.
yeah, right out of high school.
If we want to get real technical about it, I didn't actually join right out of high school. I had to wait 6 months.
Because you weren't old enough?
No, because they said, hey, we have enough small arms repairmen for this fiscal year, so you have to wait until next fiscal year.
Oh,
The
really?
job was filled.
Oh, do you want to be a truck driver? You could join the military right now. Fuck you.
I drove a truck in the military. I drove Humvees and 7 tons.
Yeah, it wasn't your job, and you did it just as well as people whose job it was.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well, my job in the military was basic water sanitation engineer, but the old acronym for it was hygiene equipment operator. So HEO.
HEO.
And there was one guy in our job training corps. He was a big burly guy. We called him Ox, but he was like 200 pounds of all muscle. We were like, why did you join as a hygiene equipment operator? I was supposed to be heavy equipment operator, but my recruiter got the paperwork wrong.
God.
Oh my god.
What?
Well, let's go find Night Aster. Not Night Aster.
Night Aster.
Sorry.
You just promoted First Sergeant Aster to... Oh, I guess I got a promotion, don't I, recruit?
Recruit.
There was a gunnery sergeant who was my drill instructor, and he gave me a command, and I was so exhausted, I just said, yes, ma'am. And I stopped short, and he looked at me. You were going to say, yes, sir, right? You weren't going to say, yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
And I said, yes, Master Sergeant.
Like, what rank was he?
He was gunnery sergeant, so what rank,
One rank below.
Sergeant?
He got a promotion. Oh, good, a promotion. In basic training, I named one of my weapons.
What did you name your weapon?
I named my M16 Piper.
Piper.
No, you didn't.
I did, actually. I named my M16 Piper in basic training.
That was like 10 years ago, before Fallout 4 came out.
Oh, yeah, because Piper has never been a name.
Why did you decide to name your rifle Piper?
Because everybody else was naming their rifles after their girlfriends or wives or whatever, and I didn't have either. So I was like, I'm gonna name it Piper because I like that name. It's a
Just a nice name.
It's just a name you liked.
I
Yeah.
like the name Piper.
And then you spent every night with Piper.
Yep.
I named my rifle too.
What'd you name it?
I named her after the serial number, so it was easier to remember. Good old 0309823.
After
Tell
years,
you a
you
fun
just
story
remember.
about when Mike joined the military. I was at my horrible base of Fort Polk, the asshole of the entire world.
Ooh, that's debatable. That I'm just throwing my hat just into the ring right now. I've talked about it before. I was in service in the middle of the hottest desert on Earth. My base in Loot Desert was situated in a place that holds the record of hottest point surface temperature of this planet. So sure, I'm sure yours was horrible. I'm just gonna contest that title just for the contribution trophy. Let's keep going.
I was playing video games and I get a call from a number I don't recognize. This guy on the line says, "Hi, my name is Sergeant whatever. I'm with the United States Marine Corps." And he says, "I have heard from Mike that you might be interested in joining the Marines."
Okay.
All right.
I didn't have the heart to tell him, no, I'm already in the military. So what I said is,
Wow.
"Oh, I'm going to college."
Oh,
And he says,
good on you.
"If you join the Marines, they'll actually help pay for college." And I said, "No, it's okay. I got a trust fund. I'm going to be a doctor."
You said that?
Yeah. After talking with him for about a good 10 minutes on the benefits of joining the Marines, while I'm actually already in the military.
And he just said it in his story that he joined in way earlier than Mike, so he was already way more invested in being in the military when he called.
I finished talking to him. I called Mike and I said, "Mike, why'd you tell him I was interested in joining the Marines?" And you just started laughing. Said you thought it was funny.
That sounds like me, all right.
I was like, "Mike, I told you how bad the military is. Why'd you join?"
Oh, was he contacting you because he was trying to verify that I was...
No, he was contacting me because when you went to the recruiter station, you wrote down 4 people's names that might be interested in joining the military. You wrote down my name, knowing full fucking well that I was already in the military.
I actually put down 4 people's names, all of whom were in the military.
All of whom were already in the military.
So he couldn't harass
That's a
civilians.
baller move. So he couldn't harass civilians. Oh, that was good. That was really, really good. So thank you all for joining me. I definitely enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share anything that you want me to react to. Make sure to like the original video and maybe do the same for me. So follow and sub for more, and see you all in the next week. Bye.